sure this works.
Y'all don't want it? Yeah, I got super used to working in shorts and a hoodie all day. And today I was bad. I'm white.
Shorts and that's the Pharrell look. That's pretty comfy. All right, and then we're gonna start recording in 3, 2, 1, blast off.
Episode 142. You know we're here. We've been here. We've been talking about this for a while.
You know what it is.
You know how it do.
You know what we do.
They don't think it be like it is, but it
Great
do.
intro. You're killing it. You really come back.
I'm so tired. Okay, so there were some. I actually posted on my dumb blog for the first time in like 3 weeks. I did this thing. I don't know if you saw it, but I outed myself. Everyone knew already. I'm like a giant nerd. I love you drinking the 1.5 liter cherry Dr. Is it vanilla Dr. Pepper?
Cream soda.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
Yeah, not very good actually.
So everyone knew. I mean, if you've spent any time following me, I'm a super nerd. But I outed myself as being a guy that will search, like, do a Google image search for random scoreboard pictures, and then I will try to figure out at what exact moment that picture taken, like to the point where like it's the top of the 6th or whatever, and I'll just do that. Like I'll spend lunch like doing that, and that's not cool.
That's not cool at all. You're kind of like, you been stumped yet? You stumped yourself?
No,
I don't know what inning.
I went through my thought process with some random like Cubs Brewers game, and I was like, this was the top of the 6th of a game on like April 19th, 2017, just based on like the picture of the scoreboard. And I thought like that's going to be it till spring training. Like I don't have the mental capacity to even give a crap about the Astros right now. And then the Astros did something, and I want to talk about that. But I also want to talk about some other things. So I'm glad we're doing this, and we'll keep this one somewhat short because I'm freaking tired.
Yeah,
but
got it.
But let's start off with like how you been?
Terrible. It's still everything's still awful. Are you feeling with the inauguration? Are you feeling a little bit lighter?
Once the inauguration happens, I'll feel a little bit lighter. But I have massive.
True. Yeah, Joe Biden's gonna be assassinated on the spot.
That's what I'm terrified of. I'm so scared. Like I've been thinking, since 13 days ago, I've been like, they need to move that bitch inside. Like that thing needs to be like maybe in Dan Crenshaw's office.
Via Zoom, just be like, yeah, they're in the secure bunker.
Yeah, no, do it in Dan Crenshaw's office or Ted Cruz's office. Like, do it somewhere where it's extremely disrespectful.
You got that's one eye.
So anyway, no, okay. I'm obviously if you know anything about us, like we're both pretty ready to turn the page on the last 4 years. But
I'm a Republican. I really the liberal ad, so I'm like, yeah, they're gonna force me right, so I'm a right winger.
You did the Trump 2020. So I actually had a friend, a friend who follows the show. Shout out to my boy Lucas in upstate New York. That he listens to all the episodes, and he was like, he sent a text to my wife and was like, is James like a Republican? And she was like, and she just laughed and she was like, what? And he was like, I watched the YouTube video of the last show, and his co-host had this like Trump 2020 sign on his video, and James didn't say anything about it, and I'm just not so sure. And so that worked. You got somebody with that.
That's all I need. That's all I needed. Like, so it succeeded. Wonderful. And hopefully he ends up voting right eventually. So hopefully plan the seed to get more young Republicans. So we'll see what happens with.
So no, I'm ready. Yeah, no, I'm ready for the next 4 years, and we'll see what happens. But a little
good. Anything just light. That's not. I'm rooting for just like the boringest year of all time. Just nothing football games. Just fucking, we're not hearing any. Biden's not tweeting. We're just kind of all coasting, and just we take the year to recover and get our mental health and physical health back, and then we thrive in 2022.
I mean, it's just so weird to think like there were days where I did not think about what the president was tweeting. Like that seems like such a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been doing it pretty much incessantly since he got there.
Yeah. Not so much anymore.
Even when he got kicked off, he's still tweeting. He's writing them down. He should do like a live Zoom and just read his tweets. This is what I said watching Fox and Friends. He's like, it's a real pretty good. Just read his tweets. He probably have millions of views.
I'm sure he would.
Fuck him. Okay, so yeah, so Trump, he's finally out of there. Is he gonna like not show up? He didn't want to. He like, even though he has to be there to pass it on, he's like he's not gonna show up.
No, he's not showing up. He doesn't have to be there. There's no law that says he has to be there. It's just something that you've done every year since 18.
Everyone has always done, yeah.
You've done it every year since 1869, unless you're like freaking JFK or FDR who died and couldn't be at the inauguration. So yeah, no,
I just
he's
hope
not gonna be there.
Bush will have his poncho on. That's all I care about. I got my poncho on just in case it rains. Me and Michelle Obama, we bought matching ones. Trump, yeah, hey man, you go out as a villain. He should, pardon all the worst people.
Who's the worst person you can think of to get a pardon?
The worst person died. It would have been Phil Spector. 100% Phil Spector, right? I mean, yeah, Phil Spector, right? Instant Phil. I saw somewhere that it's exactly who it is. That Phil Spector would be the worst by far, and they're dead friends. Rest in peace. Rest in hell, Phil Spector.
So I've been listening. One of my New Year's resolutions is to listen to the Rolling Stone top 500 albums from 500 to 1, and there was like 470 something, but it was like a Phil Spector like Back to Mono, and I was like, that's all right, yeah, all right, I'll listen to that. But it was just like a compilation album. It was like 2.5 hours long. I'm like, you can't have a compilation album be one of the best 500 albums of all time. So I'm not listening to any compilation albums.
No, that should be excluded from the list. I'm almost mad that it's on there.
Yeah, no, like, and Al Green's greatest hits, like with the one where he's like shirtless in the white pants, like that's a legitimately great album, but it's a compilation. Yeah, I'm not listening to that.
All his songs in one place. I think that's helping out the consumer.
No, it's great. It's how I got introduced to Al Green, but I'm not listening. That's not one of the 500 best albums of all time, because you've taken the best of his albums and made one album. Like, that doesn't count.
No, yeah, that doesn't count as an album, but that is very convenient if you want to hear "Let's Stay Together" and whatever his other one is.
So tired of being alone.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of the sex. So tired of being alone. I'm so tired of being alone. Good song.
Great story. Yeah. I mean, as far as like legend of American music, like Al Green's up there. But no, you can't have a compilation. You can't have a greatest hits be one of your best albums.
That's late. Well, really, they're lazy. So they're just like, yeah, I'll put this on there. You should have said 500. That's a lot of albums. I don't even know 500 albums. So we're gonna have to do a compilation.
It's so funny because you like go through and you see, 10 album stretch where it's Beach Boys and the Kinks and like all these extremely white bands, and then that someone was like, oh, we got to include some diversity in here, and it's like and then the next four are like Maxwell and Manu Chao and these like the non-white artists that they feel like they have to group together.
Contrived picks.
Do what?
They sound like contrived picks, like, oh, we love Maxwell. It's like, oh, of course you love Mac. Raphael Sadiq. It's like, okay.
To be fair, I did listen to the Maxwell Black Summer's Night album, like Maxwell really real early this morning, and I was like, no, this is solid. Like I can get on board with this.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what if you get surprised by anything where you're just like, I did not expect this to be like maybe you get another Phil Spector album, you're like, I hate that I like this, but it's really good.
I can tell you right now because I'm a huge dork. I have like a spreadsheet. So far, I'm
I
on
do that like calendar.
I've listened to 40 albums this year, the first 40. Super surprised by the Isley Brothers.
Isley Brothers are
Uh,
incredible. Should have been
the
surprised, but
three the 3+3 album was just like jam after jam.
yeah,
The Juvenile 400 Degrees coming in at 470 it made me
that's
think of my
incredible.
freshman year of college for sure.
That's a good
Uh,
album.
I forgot how good Sheryl Crow's self-titled album was.
Oh,
Um,
Sheryl Crow's got an amazing voice. She doesn't get enough credit.
yeah,
I even like yeah, shout out to Sheryl Crow. And her last name's Crow, which is tight.
really cool. Shakira has an album called Donde Están los Ladrones that
Great
was
name.
freaking great. Like it was all in Spanish. It was absolutely wonderful. There was a pivot. 487 was Black Flag's Damaged going into 486 John Mayer's Continuum.
I love Continuum. That's a nice little juxtaposition. You got that Black Flag and that punk stuff's tough. That's a tough listen for me. But
Well, I actively disliked Black Flag, and in my little note that I typed to myself about John Mayer's album, I was like, I probably think I liked this way more than I actually did, because I going from Black Flag to John Mayer, like I don't know, like I just
you're
couldn't do it.
like some people. You're like, yes, it's more
Yeah, like I
palatable.
can listen to this, has melody. Yeah, I'm good with this.
Continuum's a very good album in my opinion. But I'm a Mayer guy.
I think Room for Squares was better than Continuum.
It's a different kind of music. Room for Squares is like acoustic little poppy ballads.
Well, that's
Continuum
me.
was
I'm either
stepping into the blues and experiencing more electric sounds.
give me either the saddest bastard music or give me the sugary cavity inducing like pop hits. Like that's my two jams.
I want, I want both. Give me, just switch it up. Be sad and drunk one song, and then be in love the next one, and then you're just I want it to be like life.
I did listen to for the first time in a while, listen straight through Bon Iver's For Emma Forever Ago. And I was like,
Talent, it's a great album.
that's great. And I was like, I forgot how bleak this is. Like this is just a
Oh,
Minnesota winter.
yeah, it was like a direct attack to Morrissey. Like I'm gonna be more pathetic and sadder than you, Morrissey. Morrissey's like, don't bet on it. Morrissey is great. He just doesn't show up to concerts and he's terrible. And yeah, I love it.
So on my little spin-off podcast where I just like talk to my friends, we've been talking about this like little trip down the Rolling Stone 500, and someone was like, or Eric Nadell was like, who's your most overrated band? And I was like, the Smiths. I understand that they have influenced a lot of the bands that I like. I freaking hate the Smiths. I hate Morrissey. I don't get it. And
one of my best friends loves them, like it's his favorite, and I'm just like, why? I don't
get
understand.
it.
Yeah, I think you have to be a real sad boy. Like you have to be like aligned with the sad boy vibes to I don't know. It's got to speak to your darkness. Morrissey has to personally speak to your darkness.
That's right.
Doors. If I'm going most overrated band, I hate the Doors.
They're terrible.
Terrible. A terrible band. Awful band, except for Ray Manzarek. Great keyboard player. That's about it.
Do you need to change the batteries on your smoke detector? Is that what that is?
That's not my house. That's your house.
Oh crap!
That's hilarious that you like just somehow you don't have, you just pretended that it's mine.
Well, I couldn't. I just changed them. Like that doesn't make sense. All right. Well, I'll get to that later.
They can be ghosts, I think.
Yeah,
so I think you just think you're getting haunted.
All right. So the freaking Astros.
Yeah,
that's what the people came for. I think, which I
yeah.
honestly think.
thought this was a baseball podcast. Well, yeah, you know what? You're wrong. It's not. We're changing it.
Yeah, no. Sometimes baseball doesn't matter. This is one of those times. But I did. Was that us
yours.
again?
Yeah, it's yours. It's you for sure.
God dang it. All right. Okay. So I do not understand the decision to go to an arbitration hearing with Carlos Correa.
Yeah, you were very, very mad at that.
I was, and then I got distracted, and then I thought about it again, and I'm very, very mad again. I understand.
I understand it, but it's not very palatable right now with Springer out the door, and doesn't feel right. But it's absolutely. I mean, I get it.
I mean, I know that baseball economics are what they are, and freaking dog. COVID is what it is, and it definitely, not having fans affected the bottom line for every team.
For all the rich world, I'm not sad about it.
I'm also of the opinion that you never trust a billionaire when they cry poor, and when they say they've been aggrieved.
Yeah, never.
No, screw them. So why are you going to the guy that stepped up over the last year? I mean, and when everything broke with Mike Fiers, George Springer was contrite. Jose Altuve was contrite. He got a little bit mad. Carlos Correa stepped up and was like, no,
well, yeah, he did. That's when he became an Astro for me.
He became the face of the franchise for being willing to talk about, no, if you don't know what actually happened, so absolutely shut up. Is this dog kidding?
That was an important moment. We were sick of it. And he just it just felt good. That was the one moment of the whole thing that was positive for me.
Yeah. And now you're going to go to arbitration with him over a difference of less than $3 million when he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. Like, why would you do that?
It's just part of the bargaining thing, just to kind of it's negotiating, playing hardball.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so incredible. Like, they've made more money off of Correa jerseys in the last year than the difference of what they value. And so now you have to go before a panel and you have to explain that your cornerstone shortstop is not worth what he thinks he is. And
those World Series home runs, we don't count them.
Yeah, no, he was hurt. He got hurt in a massage. I honestly don't think that James Click knows how to operate with a franchise that actually has money. Like, he spent so long with Tampa that I'm gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, he just realized, Carlos, I thought I blacked out. I thought I was in Tampa.
Yeah, they pay their players $2.13 an hour plus tips, and they pass around a hat at Tropicana Field, and the players divvy up what they got, 25 ways. That's what the Rays do. They are not aware that you can
you can pay him.
You can just pay him.
You can keep those players, but they don't know that. They're just like, no, they're going to go somewhere else.
You can't tell this because of my virtual background, but I've got both of my dogs sitting on each shoulder or shoulder blade.
Two dogs sitting on a shoulder would be a pretty tight thing to see right now.
All right, hang on.
Hell yeah. They literally sit like gargoyles.
God bless.
Yes.
Yep.
Nice. Pups just hanging out. They want to be on the cast. I understand it. Y'all can hang out.
Can't blame them. They're gonna hang out. Bob, the one here on my left, is terrified of the smoke detector batteries, so that's cool.
That's good. The animals.
Great. Absolutely fantastic.
So yeah, no, I'm with you. It's the disrespect thing. Like, not even funny. It's just like especially Carlos. Like, you have to pay him. You can't let him walk. Like, you have to keep Carlos Correa.
You have to. You have
You
no
have.
choice.
I mean, even entertaining, not is no. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe your hypothesis about Click is correct. He immediately got a call. They're like, yeah, we're gonna pay him, right? Where Carlos, yeah, he's getting a max deal. You don't have. Why are we going to arbitration? Click's like, I don't know, man. I'm new to this. It's different here.
I pay dudes $50 million over 14 years, and then I trade them right as their escalator kicks in to where they make more than $7 million in a year. That's just what I know, and
Yeah,
it's so stupid and so short sighted.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll backfire in the worst possible way. So we'll see how that happens.
Yeah. So I'm not real happy with the Astros right now. I mean, there's apparently no effort to engage Michael Brantley or George Springer. And so basically you're losing a third of your most productive members of the lineup for what? For money that do we not remember when Jim Crane paid his entire payroll less than $25 million? Like, was that just to pay down his debt? Like, why did we tank if you're not banking for when the team gets good that you can extend them? And I understand that you extended Justin Verlander, and when you're 37 years old, you don't expect Tommy John surgery to come up for the first time, and you got to pay Greinke for another year. But you can be creative with this.
Yeah, because you're saving on Jordan, you're saving on Tucker. Yeah, I mean most of your guys hadn't hit you're paying too many guys if you're letting them walk. Yeah, you have room.
And honestly, I understand not extending Springer, a 31-year-old outfielder who plays hard. And we've talked about this. Like, I mean, he's a legend, but I can understand not wanting to give a 7-year deal to a 31-year-old outfielder. Like, I understand that.
You're paying for what he already did. You're not paying for the years ahead, in my opinion.
I think that's right. But I mean,
which he deserves all the money that he's going to get. But yeah, I understand that. But I do not understand just saying, yeah, we're not Springer and Brantley are just they're just gone. We're not even going to try. I feel like you got to keep one of them. You signed, you got a great international signing, so that's going to be very big.
The Pedro Leon dude is apparently absolutely legit.
He's the truth, yeah. So
that's cool, but he's what, 1-2 years away minimum?
I don't know. Who knows? Jordan's just like forced his way into the lineup. I mean, so if he wants to get here, he can.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, no, that's true. But we've seen over the years that sometimes Springer is going to crash into the wall and he's going to miss 20 games, and Reddick is going to put up a 700 OPS, and it's just like you cannot make it through a season with 5 starting pitchers. You cannot make it through a season with 3 outfielders. Like, you've got to pay for your insurance. Like, that's what it's for.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. It's not the direction I'd take the team, but I have no power.
And maybe a dude like Chas McCormick, the sort of, kind of hyped up outfield prospect, maybe he does some damage, that would be great. But I'd rather have Michael Brantley for another year than and sort of break Chas McCormick in, rather than being like, here you go, kid, you're hitting 6th. Let's see how it goes. Like, the window in the AL West is still wide freaking open.
It's just the Astros. It's like I still don't respect Oakland. Yeah, the Astros can just win that every year if they want to, and I'm not sure if they do. I don't know if they do.
At this rate, I'm sort of thinking, like, hope Oakland screws up somehow.
They will.
That's Oakland.
They're not actually, because they're not actually good. Yeah, this whole time they're not really good. They feel like it sometimes, but yeah, they're not. They're still the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, they are. That's true.
Rangers are the Rangers. Seattle will never get it right, and Anaheim. Shout to Jared Weaver, but the Angels, like, give me a break.
Speaking of Jared,
81 and 81. Okay.
Speaking of Jared Weaver, you've got something you've got some show and tell.
Oh, my my Jared Weaver game worn jersey that I found in a thrift shop. He's just like, yeah, he was just saying, yeah, it's game worn. So I'm like, yeah, I'll buy this.
Are you comfortable talking about how much it cost?
It was like $40.
$40 for a game worn jersey.
Yeah, it was like in a place that I guess people don't care. But I also bought a bunch of other stuff. I bought a bunch of T-shirts. I think he like threw the gear. I think he like, yeah. So yeah, it's pretty tight. It's see how he looked at me 6'7". It's like the longest.
It's very tall. Yeah,
it's a size 40, which is what I wear in a jacket. So it's like my size perfectly, but it's like a dress.
Where do you put Jared Weaver on the like if you before this, if you had asked like what was Jared Weaver's contribution to baseball, what would you have said?
Won like 150 games.
He had
really
a pretty low ERA.
And a 3.6 career ERA. Like he deserves a lot more respect.
I would have said he's Jeff Weaver's brother, and I wouldn't have been able to tell you any more than that.
I can't see that's a problem. If you win 150 games in the show and have a career 3.6, like if his WAR was like 34 something, like that's a fucking career, man.
He's not a Hall of Famer, but he was a very serviceable major league pitcher.
He's yeah. He won't get in the Hall, but I'm gonna honor him on this.
Jared Weaver, time.
Hell yeah. And I looked at his picture. He does look like a big scumbag. He looks like he hangs out with Brett Myers and his Brett Myers country band.
He looks kind of like if Vigo the Carpathian had taken meth.
The scourge of Moldavia. on a mountain of skulls.
That's really funny.
Death is but a doorway. Dude, Vigo, I love Vigo, man. Right. Gotta get my jersey on. It's gonna anger people when see me wearing an Angels.
No, the story behind it is good enough. Like, I mean,
like, or like it's just like a thing. Like for that price, like yeah, I'm buying it. But I'm never gonna wear it, so I'm gonna put it on now. But yeah, so it's you get the patches, like, but see, like it fits good. Like and he's like 6'7", so
yeah. All they said was 6'7" he stood.
6'7". Montel Jordan.
Oh, he was Montel Jordan.
Hey, you don't short him on that inch.
I'm really happy that my smoke detector started to go off in the middle of this. I think that's great.
I do too. I hope it ruins the show. I might as well.
I mean, my dog is right behind me, just shivering and shuddering, scared to death.
That's pretty pathetic. Like
I feel really bad.
You come from the wolf, and like you're terrified of a beep.
I mean,
see him.
Absolutely terrified. He's my backpack.
That's hilarious. That's actually a common take. Dogs do not like that. It's the pitch. I think it goes directly into their dog's soul.
I like how it's getting more insistent. That's great. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, those things suck. I'd rather die from a fire or the carbon monoxide than actually hear the beep. I really was serious. Like I would rather than to ever have to change it. I'd rather just die and have it not do its job. But
yeah, as soon as we get done, I'm gonna have to deal with this like immediately, or no one is gonna sleep in this house.
To do that, like it's just like I'm not working now, so whatever you're doing, you better podcast. I don't care. I'm gonna keep beeping.
It never goes off at 2 p.m. either. It's always like 9 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, oh, help us.
Hear me. I'm a smoke detector. I want my attention.
Inconsiderate batteries. God bless it. This is ruining my mood. I was in a good mood. Now I'm we just don't have
mad. It's one of those piercing sounds too, where you forget about it and then you hear it, you're like, fuck, that makes me mad every time you hear it. So yeah, well, we don't have much more to deal with. I'm trying to think.
They settled with Lance. They settled with somebody else, Aledmus Diaz. Like
Which done nothing for the franchise at all.
the framework is there. I mean, if you want to extend, it's good to settle. I mean, you want to give a guy what he thinks he's worth, or at least you agree that this is a good deal for this year, just in terms of future negotiations. And I think
Right.
Lance he's a huge part of, he's been a huge part since 2015. And you take care of that guy. I do not understand arguing with Carlos Correa and his agents over $2.7 million the same year that he becomes a free agent. That's extremely stupid and short-sighted. And it just goes back to the McKinseying of the Houston Astros. And I thought they were done with that. And apparently now they're not. So screw them. I'll still.
Yeah, they won. They were jealous of all the good pub that the Mets are getting.
Shout out to the Mets for out Astroing the Astros.
Or people, oh yeah, we got to get back into the eyes of our enemies.
And we're not of the mindset that everything a different franchise does to bring disgrace to their name is hilarious. But you got to think that the Mets hiring Carlos Beltran last offseason and Jared Porter this offseason and them not seeing opening day, that's legitimate. Yeah. I mean, what Carlos Beltran did was, it is what it is. What Jared Porter did was absolutely reprehensible. And
terrible.
It's a shame that it is an absolute black eye to the sport of baseball that he rose as far as he did, knowing that this behavior was going on 3-4 years ago.
Nonstop. Yeah. That's
because if you're texting chicks like just over and over again and they're not responding and you respond with a what Passon said, friend of the podcast, Jeff Passon, described as a naked penis, which a clothed penis is also not ideal. But if you're sending any version of your penis, clothed or unclothed, you are a terrible human being. But it's still, it's he went full Cole Hamels on it.
Full Cole Hamels. Full Cole Hamels. Sexy.
But it's still funny that the Mets, and I do love Steve Cohen as the owner of the Mets.
I like the Mets, but yeah, that's a very Met thing to do.
It's an extremely Metsy thing to do, and it's I don't want to say it's nice that the terrible organization is not the Astros anymore, but it's just terrible. It's a terrible situation all around, but at least it's not about the Astros.
They were swift and took care of it. Shout out to the Mets for taking you're gone. Like, we're not going to wait around. We're done with this.
Yeah, no, that was a great call by
finally a cancel. Yeah, it's finally somebody that gets canceled that actually deserves it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's good. I'm. What else did I want? Something else. I don't know. I think the Astros are going to be very good, and they're the one bright spot in sports wise in the city of Houston. We've lost all our superstars. Deshaun Watson's going to out the fuck. It's an absolute disaster.
I'm tangentially aware of the Texans because of where I am in Astros Twitter, but how do you choose like the AAU like chaplain to run your organization?
Yeah, well, Cal McNair is retarded. that's what it is. Cal McNair is actually retarded.
He's Sergeant Sanders. He's not as advanced as Colonel Sanders, but he's like Sergeant Sanders. And I said that not knowing the ranks, the military ranks in their hierarchy.
First Lance Corporal. Stolen valor. He's just stole valor. He wasn't even in the military.
I just can't believe, and also seeing like ESPN tweeting like glowing things about James Harden with the Nets that he's been doing for 6-7 years with the Rockets,
every single night. And I do like that he's fat right now and playing well. That makes me happy.
That's a good sign.
And then the Rockets actually won that deal. They got a great haul. Truth be told, but to lose your superstar and you have a quarterback out the door, it just doesn't feel great. And it already didn't feel great because it was COVID and everything was already bad. So yeah. So the Astros they're gonna bring joy.
They'll shake the burning coals of shame off of Houston's collective head, and go about and right the wrongs in this city.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, you're that smoke detector is the worst.
Yeah, we need to end this because I got to go take care of this.
Yeah, we're about to. Yeah, take care of that. We can cut this one short. There's nothing to talk about. We've got a month away from camp, spring training.
Maybe 3 weeks. So,
and I sent a text to somebody about a show coming up, so that'll be fun. We'll have a big show pretty soon.
Cool. Yeah, we'll slowly get back into this. I'll talk to my buddies on Michael Bourne Identity.
Yeah, I'll talk about the 500. Also, we have a secret project that we gotta work some things out on. So we got some fun stuff coming up.
Yep, we kind of took this winter off to sort of step back and reevaluate, and decided, yeah, we're gonna still do this.
Yeah, and I've been doing a bunch of heroin, so it's nice to nice to actually be on this podcast and not just be on heroin by myself. So have fun and have fun partying for the inauguration tomorrow. I'll be me and my Trumpy bear are gonna be. I bought a Trumpy bear. I'm selling bootleg ones on Etsy, and they're doing really well. People are buying that MAGA shit up, so I'm doing really well.
Love
it. That.
Right. Get yours.
All right. So yeah, I guess we'll see you. We don't know. I'm not going to promise you. We might come back. We might not. Goodbye forever.
It's up to the Astros. It's their call now.
It really is, and it's also the Lord's. All right. Goodbye.